Hello, my name's Josh. I'm a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. I'm a son of God. I'm a follower of Jesus Christ. And as of recently, I'm a divorcee. Sometimes life takes us in places we never thought we would ever go. Sometimes we make commitments in our life that we think are forever. And sometimes they're not. Sometimes, as members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, our life is thrown in complete upheaval, and we want to ask ourselves, why are we here? If any of you have been through divorce, betrayal, or anything of that sort, this is why this channel is going to exist. For me to share my experiences so that you can know that you are not alone in those experiences. That there are others who experience it too. I know as I was going through some of my healing process that I felt bitterly alone. That I felt like I was an island by myself and that there was no one else there. I want you to know that you do not have to suffer alone. And ultimately that's what you're doing. Divorce, one of the side effects of divorce is suffering, is pain for you, for your soon-to-be ex-spouse or your ex-spouse, for your children if you have them, for your extended family and potentially your friends as well. It's a painful experience for everyone. And I want you to know, first and foremost, that God's love is big enough for everyone. His kindness, His mercy, His gentleness, His desire to help us and to guide us is big enough for everyone. I've been through this path, and I've come out the other side fairly recently of the divorce. I want all who are going through it right now to know that your life is not ruined. That you're just at a fork in the road and you have a new path before you. Sometimes we don't want to walk down that new path. And sometimes we don't have a choice but to walk down that new path. But I assure you that if you walk down that new path, that you will find blessings and happiness and hope along the way. It may take you some time to adjust to being on this new path, and that's normal. If any one of you going through this is feeling not just hopeless, but just lost, just as if you do not know what to do or where to go, or even maybe what even to think, I want you to know that that is normal. I was there. It is not a fun place. It is bitter. It is dark. And it is frightening at times. But again, when you're there, I testify that Jesus Christ will help you. I want you to know one of the lessons that I've learned along the way, though, is that sometimes we are required to sit in the darkness by ourselves because there are lessons that are only going to be learned in that way. It's terrible while you're there. It is horrible and it can be very scary, but it is something that we can get through. I got through it. I know others who've gotten through it. It's just a little bit unfortunate that in the church we don't talk much about it. We have a church that emphasizes family and the importance of family, and rightfully so. We are taught the ideal and what Heavenly Father really wants for us. But sometimes because we live on a fallen earth, we have experiences that coincide with that. Sometimes you may go to church and you feel just like no one understands you. No one understands what you're going through, that all the lessons are about families and the importance of families and how to have a happy family. And here now you are in a position where your family is in shambles. That you tried to do all the things. You did everything you were supposed to do. Yet here you are with broken dreams and hopes, feeling like an outcast in a church that maybe you've been active and loved your whole life. And now you're an outcast because of something that happened to you. Or maybe it's because of some choices that you made. Either way, the church is for those who are sick, for those who need spiritual power. The gospel of Jesus Christ is for all. So that is my message to you. That there is hope, that there is healing, and that you are not alone. Over the next little while, I'm going to share my experiences that I have had with regards to betrayal and with regards to divorce. I'm going to share them in a hope that you will know that you're not alone. Maybe you'll be able to glean some lessons from what I've learned. Maybe you'll be able to pick up some lessons from what I've experienced that I haven't even seen along the way yet. But I want this channel to be one of hope for you. We will discuss some pretty dark things. Depression, anxiety, anger, all which are part of the divorce process and the recovery process, all which are normal. And sometimes we feel guilty for feeling them, and we shouldn't. It is a normal part of the grieving and healing process. There has been a few things I'll just tell you right now that have been truly a godsend for me, and hopefully they help you. One, take the sacrament as often as you can take it. That can be difficult given the COVID situation right now, but if you're able to take it every week, find a way to do it. I found such peace and comfort, sometimes even for just seconds, in taking the sacrament. And the sacrament for me has taken on a whole new meaning. One that I think I heard people talk about before, but now I know about. The second one is, if possible, if you can afford it, if the circumstances allow, find a good counselor. Find someone who you can talk to, who is trained and can get you through this experience. You'll have a lot of well-meaning people that will give you advice, but many of them have not been through this. And because they haven't been there, their advice is well-meaning, but it may not be the best advice to get. Seek out a professional. Potentially seek out people that have been through divorce. Ask them what helped them. Ask them what got them through. And sometimes they're going to know the best thing to do is not to give you advice at all, but to just listen and just let you vent and they can say in return, I've been there. I know that's bad and it hurts. The final piece of advice that I would give you is to seek out knowledge. That comes in lots of forms. I can tell you I've read a lot of books. I've listened to a lot of podcasts. I've read the scriptures. And then finally, just ask Heavenly Father for knowledge. Ask Him to show you what you're missing. Ask Him to help you see what you don't see. That may be painful. You may see that part of the reason where you are, you had something to do with. And sometimes that's a painful view. But seek out knowledge. It will help you in the healing process and the understanding process. And ultimately, This is a growing experience. It'll help you grow. So I need to end this video with a couple of caveats. First, although I am a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, this channel, this video, all of my content is my own. It is not endorsed by the church, and it is not affiliated with the church. Second, I'm not a licensed counselor, therapist, psychiatrist, or anything of that sort. All the advice I'm going to be giving is just advice based on what I've been through, what I've read, and what I've learned along the way. And finally, I want to be very clear that this channel is not a place to bash my former spouse, or if people communicate through YouTube as they do, for us to bash our former spouses. That really does no one any good. We have to remember that, as painful as it may seem at times, that our former spouse or soon to be former spouse is also a son or daughter of God, and he loves them just the same. My goal is to put out at least one video a week, maybe two. I'd like to make enough content so that people can come here and just listen and hopefully find hope, hopefully find a little bit of something that helps them. So, in the meantime, I'll keep working on these videos. I hope that it provides help. Feel free in the comments down below to subscribe to the channel, and then also to put in the comments below other topics, or specific topics you'd like me to address. If it's something I feel qualified regarding, or if I feel qualified to address because I've dealt with it, or at least I know someone who's dealt with it and I have some knowledge and experience on it, I'll probably share what I know. If it's something that's just way outside of my realm or way too deep, I apologize, I won't probably deal with it. But I encourage you to go put in the comments below whatever topics you think may be helpful. Because if you think it's helpful for you, odds are it's going to be helpful for a lot of other people too, who just maybe don't have the voice to say it. So thanks again, and hopefully I'll see you soon.